Hello, I'm Kirsch, and I'm an electrical and electronics design engineer and electrical systems engineer. When it comes to high density interconnect or HDI boards, these are boards that are very densely packed and usually are carrying signals that are in the 1 gigahertz or higher Nyquist frequency for your signal rise times, which kind of puts you in the high speed category essentially, or USB 4, USB 3.2, these all are in the high speed range. Okay, this is where we need to start paying attention a lot to EMI, EMC, signal integrity, and high speed signal propagation. I'm going to show you how your PCB stackup affects each of these critical 3 things in every high speed printed circuit board. Let me show you. All right, so here is our design. This is the NVIDIA Jetson AGX Orin 64 gigabyte carrier board. This is a 10-layer high-density interconnect PCB. Let me show you what's going on in here. So we've got our top view of the PCB, the bottom view. There's about 1,000 components at least, well, 1,500 components actually. Then you have the layers. So let's go through the layers. These are your mixed signal layers. All right. Then the layer below that, layer 2, is your return path, or ground for convenience, but it's your return path for your layer 1. Then you have layer 3. Layer 3 is where a lot of your PCIe Gen 4, Gen 5 trace signals are. Look at all that. Look at all that length matching. Okay. A lot of return path vias, right? A lot of these squiggly and any routing. That's very intentional. These are your high-speed signals. This is going to become very important for EMI shortly. Then you have layer 4, right? The engineers decided to put a layer 4 there to have a return path for your high-speed, high EMI signals. Then you have layer 5 for your mixed signals and also some, look at that, length matching and phase tuning and whatnot to make sure your skew doesn't become a problem for your timing. That's layer 5. Notice how below layer 5 is another set of copper poor that provides mostly power. Okay, this is your power layer, but it does have its own adjacent return path lane. And then you have your layer 5, layer 6, and then layer 7 that has another return path. Now, why they would put the layer 6 that has power and layer 7 together, it's to maximize capacitive coupling. Okay, layer 8, we have more signals. Some are high speed, some are not, and they are right below that adjacent return path, right? Then layer 9, another return path that is sandwiched between. Then layer 10, you have your regular signals along with some copper poor for power. So it's really how you use the PCB stackup more so than the number of layers, okay? That really matters. So let's go into the PCB stackup strategy. Let's go to setup and cross section. Now that we understand how and why they did this, let's look at how you could set this up yourself. So here we have our 10 layers in the cross section area. Then to add any layers you want, you right click and choose add layers. You can set the number of layers, choose to add them above the conductor top, that's the name of the top conductor, or below conductor top, okay? Then you can choose whether they will be a type of conductor, 1 ounce copper, dielectric, plain, mask, all that good stuff. Another way to add layers to your PCB stackup is to right click and choose add layer pair below. This will add a conductive layer and also a dielectric layer. You can also right click and just add layer above or below, which chooses or makes any one of these layers a conductor or dielectric. It's up to you and so on. But I like to add the layer pair. Now what this does is it lets me choose whether it's a conductor, dielectric, or a plane. Notice that's what they did here. Conductor, plane, to trap those EMI, that EMI coming off of those high-speed signal traces. So that's why we have that. Then you have your dielectric. Okay, you're also able to do things like set thickness and whatnot, but I will explain those for signal integrity. Okay, so this is how you can manage your EMC and EMI, especially in high density interconnect boards. Very important in Allegro X. Now, what do I mean when I talk about signal integrity? The integrity of your signal depends on a lot of different things, but one of the biggest things is your impedance of your traces, whether it's single-ended impedance or differential impedance on your signal traces. Those matter. They are going to cause your signals to be reflected and whether they're going to be clean or not from chip to chip. So how do you change that? Well, it's affected by the dielectric thickness in your PCB stack-up, the trace width on your PCB stack-up, and how far your traces are away from each other. We're going to focus on the thickness of your dielectric. So let me show you how to change that in Allegro. So here I have Allegro X open. See the layer that I added here? This is a conductor layer, and I could choose my material to set the thickness for that conductor. But what I really want you to pay attention to is this dielectric. This dielectric material has a certain thickness. You could set the thickness in this column manually. So if you want, you could say it is 5 mils thick or whatnot, and then it will automatically change it to whatever units you're in, which is in millimeters. Another thing is your material. I'll get more into the material, but your material that you choose set in the table will adjust your thickness accordingly. You also have plus and minus tolerance for thickness, which is important. That does affect your impedance for your traces as well, but that's how you set the thickness for your dielectric and your conductive layer. All right, you know how to set your PCB stack up so you can manage your EMI. You also know how to change your dielectric in Allegro X for your controlled impedance. Next, let's address your PCB materials, because the material affects how fast your signal propagates across the PCB and inside the PCB. All right, so in Allegro X, let's look at the physical column. Here we've got this column called the material column, and this is where you choose your material, like where I would choose 1 ounce copper, 2 ounce copper, and so on. The thickness of the conductor layer that you choose will decide how much current carrying capacity you have for that conductive layer. Now for the dielectric, this will decide how much permittivity, how much electric permittivity you have, and how much permeability you have. This is basically your dielectric constant and your loss tangent. And what does that mean? It means this is going to affect how fast your electromagnetic fields propagate inside this material, so inside the PCB, and how much energy or attenuation is going to happen, how much energy loss is going to happen as the signal travels with the loss tangent. Now, where do you set this? Like, how do you set this? You can do that either by directly setting your dielectric constant or by choosing from this predefined set of materials. Where do we set this? Let me show you. Go to Setup and then choose Materials. In your materials table, you have all kinds of options for your materials. Allegro X comes preloaded with these different materials, but you can add your own. You've got your zirconia, your tin, silver ink, shin-etsu materials, and here you set your dielectric at 20 degrees C, 1000 megahertz or 1 gigahertz, your dielectric constant, your loss tangent, conductivity, thickness of that material, thermal details, magnetic properties. You can add all of these to your material stack-up table and then export them as a worksheet file or as needed. Once you populated this, then you can use it inside of your PCB stack-up or your cross-section in the drop-down. Now, where would you get this information? You get this from your manufacturer, your fabricator of your printed circuit board. You want to always talk to them first before you start anything with PCB stack-up, because the foundation of all PCB design is the PCB stack-up and controlling EMI. So just a quick summary, you've learned about how the PCB stack-up is used to control and manage your EMI in your high-speed boards and also in your HDI boards, which tend to be high speed. Okay, not always, but they're usually. The next thing you learn is your dielectric thickness and how that affects your controlled impedance and your signals. And finally, the materials and how you can talk to your manufacturer to get those and put them into your software in Allegro X. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll be sure to bring you more education and implementation in my next video. See you.